you write me off? Allow me to introduce you to what you thought you knew. Thought you found my dark side. Well, let me shed a little light. Your arrogance is vile, transparent, you can't hide. You've run out of time. Warning before I judging what you think you see, watching you, watching me, blinded in your mind. I'm not making me. You're invited to invade. Pull the ring on your grenade. See how far you get. See how fast you fade out. To see how fast you fade out.
Huh. It's another episode of Another Point of View Q&A. Before anyone asks, yeah, I know it's been a few weeks, but I thought my listeners could get some time to cool off after all that midterm elections talk and stuff. But yeah, it's been enough time. So let's do this. As always, I'm Mr. Gerald Lord. And now let's look at some of your submitted questions. Question. Can you describe what the other cast members look and act like in a creative way? Like that time you talked about the sorcerer and what he was like in person. Oh man, here we go. I knew somebody was going to reference him in the Q&A. Only a matter of time before I got one of these. Though I will admit that this only mentions him in passing. But it really is, okay, it's actually asking about other cast members. Interesting. So, let me see. How is it that I describe the sorcerer and what he was like in person? Right. I physically compared him to someone who looks like a mix of Kyle Kalinske from the show Secular Talk, Lee Camp from the show Redacted Tonight, and I think I said he had just a slight hint of the physical attributes of Johnny Depp. And he acts like all three of them to some degree. But mostly he seems to act like Lee Camp. Oh gosh, okay. I guess I understand the question. Compare the past guest hosts on the cast of famous people or internet personalities that can be looked up. Ooh, this should be fun. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the order that comes to mind to me, because let's just let me see. Oh my gosh! All right, I already know the first cast member to start off with. You might remember, females exist online, and it's so easy to describe her. I'm thinking about it now. It actually makes a lot of sense. She's basically the YouTuber Shoe on Head. I think she's also known as June. Yes, I do watch her channel every now and again. And now that I'm thinking about it, Females Exist Online is literally, I think, almost an exact clone of Shoe on Head. Both looks-wise in terms of facial features and also kind of in terms of body type too. But I think the two, they also seem to be incredibly similar personality-wise. It's kind of uncanny. But yeah, that's the best way I could describe what Females Exist Online is like in person. And I think I got it spot on. None of the other members of the cast, I think, are going to be that easy to describe, though. For example, Crooklyn Banks. There's a tough individual to describe to you all. So how could I describe him? It's a head scratcher. Oh, okay, I got it. Physically, I think Crooklyn basically looks like WWE superstar Baron Corbin. And yeah, I'm not talking about Baron Corbin with long hair. In terms of personality, it's not the best comparison, but he's basically Bill Burr without the over-the-top anger. He's probably the funniest people I know. You know, he's a great friend and an individual that I respect and appreciate having as a part of my life. So, you know, yeah, I basically have this really tall Baron Corbin-esque individual who's hilarious, like Bill Burr. What cast member should I do next? Ooh, this is gonna be good. The Marquis. How would I describe the Marquis through a comparison? Well, the Marquis is probably not gonna like this comparison, but I think they have the physique of Winona Ryder. Oh yeah, Winona Ryder in her 20s, and I think the Marquis has the out there attention-seeking personality of Milo Yiannopoulos. And no, I'm not going to elaborate on that statement. You all can speculate on those comparisons yourselves. Okay, next cast member. Ooh, I got one. So this guy actually never made a direct appearance on the show, but the show's artist, also known as Mr. Frost, he was the, I did mention him in the credits a lot in season 2, so it's okay if you guys don't remember him, but he was a pretty cool guy. If I had to describe him physically, I would say you just gotta take Wilford Brimley, give him Ric Flair's, you know, head of hair, and, you know, that's basically Mr. Frost in the appearance department. And personality-wise, I would say Mr. Frost has the personality of what you would get if you fuse the personalities of the artist Bob Ross and comedian George Carlin. That's the best way I can describe Mr. Frost. Good friend of the show, by the way. Shout out to the guy. Hope he's listening. Great fellow. Who else am I missing? Right. Blank space. Gosh, it's crazy thinking about him. Feels bittersweet whenever I do. How would I describe him so you listeners could know what he was like to be around? So appearance-wise, you know, it's weird because I have two distinct memories of the blank space and how he looked. Because, you know, most of the time I knew him, he was usually clean-shaven, but you know, in my later years he started sporting a beard, which kind of became a permanent thing, as far as I remember. So how would... Oh, okay. I know the famous person who matches the blank space almost to a T in terms of appearance, in both instances, actually. So, just imagine a blonde Joaquin Phoenix in both instances. Almost an exact comparison, except for the hair color. You know, beard or no beard. Personality-wise, the blank space, I would compare him to comedian Ricky Gervais. Back in the day, I could have a conversation with him about anything. I'm talking about the blank space here, not Ricky Gervais. But yeah, blank space and we could have an intelligent conversation, a silly conversation, a serious conversation, any of them. And it was always time well spent, my book. I kind of really need this. Thinking about it now. But keeping with the question, I think that's it. Are there any cast members or guest hosts I'm forgetting? Damn, almost forgot. Pulp Sock. He made one appearance, but still a good friend of the show. I'll keep this, comparison succinct though. Physically, and funny enough, Pulp Sock looks like Ricky Gervais, and he's got a personality very similar to that of comedian Louis C.K., with a tad bit of Jim Carrey thrown in, here and there. But yeah, that's what a lot of the cast is like in person. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, let me know. But yeah, that was kind of fun. Thanks for the question. All right, let's do another question. Oh, here's one. Question: what do you do for fun when you're not doing stuff related to the show? So, I do various things for recreation when I'm not doing an episode. But I think I've pretty much, hinted well on the show what I tend to do on my spare time. I read books, which is why I have the segment, Here's a Recommendation. I generally prefer reading biographies or books about history, but I also enjoy fiction, usually involving supernatural elements or characters with supernatural qualities. What else? I also play video games. I think I've hinted at this on the show as well. Probably talked about it directly, maybe in the earlier stuff. But I prefer single-player games. But I also play some online multiplayer games. I enjoy open-world games, fighting games, shooters, which includes first-person and third-person shooters. Turn-based and real-time strategy games, big fan of those. Multiplayer battle arena games, and other types of games too. I generally prefer console gaming over PC or mobile gaming, but I do all three. But I'll be honest, I don't know if it's because I'm old or something, but I don't do it too often. Less than 5 hours a week, I would say, I dedicate on average to playing video games. That's just me. Maybe some other people can relate to that. Maybe they think I'm just weird, but if a person looked at my collection, they'd probably think, "Damn, this guy has a problem with gaming." But no, I've probably played less than half of my actual collection of games. So many of them have just sat on the shelf and never gotten even a minute of gameplay time. It's kind of sad when I think about it. I do exercise, mostly cardio. My favorite kind of exercise is running. You just put those headphones on, listen to some music, and go for a run. And yes, the music I listen to is quite varied. After all, the songs I play on the credits of this show are songs I like and have in my music player. And, I think I've used so many different kinds of songs over the years on my seasons. I can't think of any specific, but I think the first episode was what song did I use for the? I don't know what song I used for the first episode. It's been years. All I know is I've used weird songs for endings of shows. What else do I do? For fun, I watch movies. Usually I watch them by myself, but sometimes, with friends. Most of the time I spend with friends entails us eating out at a restaurant, watching a film, or, something on television. Or just us talking about stuff happening in the world or in our lives. And yes, I know some of you might judge me for this, but related to watching movies, yes, I also watch porn. Needless to say, I watch that in private. So that's a kind of random thing to add in, but yeah. What would I say my number one thing is to do for fun? I take naps and go to sleep. Like, seriously, people. Sleeping is the greatest activity in the world. I mean, think about it. It's free. You get to enjoy dreams of all types and forms. It doesn't harm animals or the environment. Maybe I guess that's not a hobby. We all do it because we have to, I guess. But sleeping is a favorite hobby of mine. I think the only thing that beats sleeping, funny enough for me, I would say is sleeping whilst enjoying the company of a beautiful woman, which I also enjoy doing. But yeah, that's what I enjoy doing aside from the show. Thanks for asking. You got to know a little bit more about me on that one. Maybe stuff I shouldn't have said, but whatever. Okay, next question. Question: are you ever going to reveal the answer to your challenge relating to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One giveaway? And will you ever be doing another challenge giveaway again on your show? What? Wait. Oh, wow. Did I really forget to reveal the answer to the challenge? I think I did. Alright, my mistake, guys. I think I did I mentioned nobody answered the challenge correctly, though. I'm almost positive I did. Yeah, I did that, but okay. So, alright, fair question. Fair question. So the question was, what was the first time I ever did a Conversing About Money segment on the show? And the answer was Another Point of View, episode 26 of season 1. The segment Conversing About Money made its debut on segment 2 of that show. And I did one of those segments, and I never did another one until recently this season, season 4. So, yeah, that was not intentional on my part. Just happened to go that way. I did one segment, then just never. I don't know. I didn't really forget about it. I mean, obviously, but maybe I did forget about it. Look, all I know is it made for a fun little challenge. So, you know, that was the answer to the challenge. So that answers that question. It's a shame nobody got the answer, though. Would have been interesting to reward a avid listener of the show with a game console. As far as your second question goes, yeah, I might do another challenge similar to it in the future. Because, you know, that was fun. And I like, you know, doing crazy stuff like that sometimes. But as usual, it will be a surprise. You know, I'm not going to give you all advanced warning ahead of time. That's not what I do this show for. You know, tune in like you do normally and stumble upon the challenge like you're supposed to, is what I will say. Because, you know, if you want free stuff, you got to earn it. It's just how it is. I'm not here to give freebies out. So, yeah, that's your answer. Thanks for reminding me. Can't believe I forgot to give the answer out to my own challenge. Yeah, okay. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap up the show with that question. 3 questions seems good to me. So that is all for this episode of Another Point of View Q&A. Take care, listeners, and I will see you next time. Toodles.
No matter what.